end up like you think you're on one account and start tweeting, and it's actually the other account. And you're like, anyway.
That's awesome.
God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you? Wait, why do I hear myself? I hear myself somehow. Anyway, welcome to If We Were at Nintendo. This is the part before the show starts that we get to thank all of our amazing people at patreon.com/makeusbetter. We're live on youtube.com/wethenerdy. Thanks to everybody for supporting us over there. And a special thank you to our executive producers, especially our platinum executive producer, Mr. Corey Hicks, our gold executive producer, Sheldon Benedict. He's right over there. Wait, you can't see him yet. And Mr. Moody, of course, and all of our gentlemen executive producers. Dude427, he's in the house. Martini Jean, Aaron Doherty, David Ray, Jesse Armstrong, James Johnson, Dr. Doom, and Nick Milicia from Next Level Games. Let's get on with the show.
Okay, so the premise is if we ran Nintendo. And part of me feels like that's the name.
Let's face it. As Nintendo fans, we are often left slightly disappointed and scratching our heads asking why. Where is our cloud saves? Why isn't Metroid out yet? Well, sit back as me, Sean Capri, and a couple of guests do just that. That's right, this is If We Ran Nintendo. Now, cue the music, future me.
Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going good. Why does my microphone mute? Why does mine mute at the start? I was just talking to you guys. Why would it mute there? That is so bizarre. If you're on Nintendo and the shithole train just continues on, we're late at night. It's 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Guys, I am totally stoked to have you here. Sheldon, you and I we saw each other in person. We touched.
Yeah. We were together. And then I went over to Tony's and I was with him. It's crazy. Now we're back on the computer.
Now we will resume our relationship as per the internet states. Tony, man, this is actually our first time. We keep avoiding each other. We were meeting at the West Edmonton Mall, and then I was on your show, and you weren't there. It's okay.
I know. I was thinking that you were starting to get a complex. You know, like, why is he avoiding me?
I am.
Like, every time like we're about to do something like horribly goes wrong in my life, and it just like screws everything up. So either you're really bad luck or you're really good luck. I'm not sure.
I think I am actually pretty bad luck. What can I ask? Can I ask what happened? Like you said horribly wrong. I feel like there's a story there.
Well, you know, just like family stuff, just not like bad things, but you know, it's my job to get the kids to bed, get everybody settled, and it's just whenever I have something scheduled, it just goes the complete opposite way. Kids are crying, kids have wicked nosebleeds. Kids have to go to the hospital. Like something always goes wrong.
Man,
Like it's just insane. I don't know.
does anybody ever else have like I get nosebleeds quite a lot because it's so freaking dry here. Like it's awful.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's so this is the dumbest thing to talk about. You're just sitting there. Like you can't do anything. You're just like, I guess I got to just clasp the note. Like I hate it. I can't stand it. Guys, I am so pumped because I know that you've brought amazing topics and we're going to get to those eventually. But today we're going to start this show like we do each and every week with our shout outs. Sheldon, did you have a shout out for us?
I do have
today?
a shout
Yes,
out.
you remembered.
I remembered.
I was going to
So I want
totally
to give
throw
a
you
shout
under the
out
bus.
to Joel at Nintendo Family Gaming because he has been, streaming with us and playing a lot of games with us and, kind of picking us up and pushing us forward. So going to give him a shout out.
Well deserved. Yeah, Joel Brooks, longtime supporter of pretty much everybody that like is in this community. I don't know how he manages to do it. I love it, man. Mr. Tony, how about you? Do you have a shout out for us?
Yeah, you bet I do. I have a couple I'm going to run through real quick.
I love it.
First is Jacob Rush, because that guy is the bomb, and he's going to have a new baby, so that's wicked, and I'm super happy for that guy. And I know he does some stuff with you guys on Day Space, and now I think he's in the Make Us Better as well, too, right?
That's right. Yeah, Nintendo Nostalgia is part of Make Us Better. So Sheldon, gold executive producer over there as well.
He's helping. He's helping. So yeah, that's the first one. Then there's Kojak808. He's been a longtime viewer and player in our streams, as well as Yoshi Phoenix and Kirby. Those guys are awesome. They're always there every Splatterday night, every Mario Kart. And I guess I should say Skinny Matt too, but I don't really want to shout him out.
No, I would give a shout out to, but I ran out already. I would afford him a shout. Man, okay, so actually I skipped a part because I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit before we really get into anything else about Quest for Pixels. It seems like you guys have come up out of nowhere with your just ginormous success and everybody coming to your streams. Tell me a little bit about Tony. Tell me how did it all start? How did because I think I've heard it from Sheldon, but for those who don't know, let's go through it.
We met through Nintendo Dads, like everyone seems to do, and then we started talking there, and then we met with another guy. His name was Rand, and we decided to do a podcast. And then Sheldon came on, but it just wasn't clicking. Something didn't feel right, and then it kind of just went its separate way. But Sheldon and I kept talking, and we're like, we need to keep doing this. We need to keep doing this. And then literally a year and a half to maybe 2 years later, we were like, okay, now we're doing it. And we just started, and ever since, it's just been going.
It's just been love at first tweet.
Exactly.
It's amazing the power that the Nintendo Dads have. So many relationships are formed from the aftermath of the Nintendo Dads. I mean, it's fitting because the Nintendo Dads themselves were born out of just a true Canadian romance of meeting at a Tim Hortons, and the fact that you guys have met in a similar sort of way. I love it. It's perfect. Where can people find you guys on the internet and follow all the things you do? People should probably subscribe to a YouTube channel, I think, if they want to get on some streaming.
Yeah, so we have the three major ones. I mean, excluding Twitter. So you have Twitter, which is at Quest for Pixels. So we're always posting over there. We have the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/quest4pixels. Then there is the Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/quest4pixels gaming. And then we also have the website that we've been working on. Mike's been kind of heading that, and we've got a lot of stuff going up over there. So that is www.quest4pixels.com. So pretty much everything is live at the website. So if you don't know what's going on or anything like that, you can go to the website and usually figure out where we're at,
Nice,
where we're poking around.
And if you really want the short version of who we are, Kojak808 said it perfectly in a stream. He said, Tony's the inappropriate one, Sheldon's the one that laughs at everything, and Mike is the guy who looks disappointed. It's fantastic. Every time I say everything, it's just like a disappointed sigh and groan from Mike with these eyes. It's great.
That is so
he balances
funny.
us out.
How can any of you really be mad at any of this? It's like, I would be mad, but it's just so true. Sheldon's like, he giggled, he literally laughed at you saying that he laughs at everything. So
exactly.
You're on brand, man. Sheldon, tell me quickly before we get into the show. Eventually, we'll get into the Talk. Talk, so just relax, just take it easy. We will eventually get into some amazing topics. Tell me about the green screen, though, man. You guys do your streaming, but are you using the green screen?
So I use the green screen.
For an erotic film.
Yeah, like not for the streaming. It's for
well,
to insert
see,
yourself in erotic movies.
I have a side hustle, which is erotic movies, but I'm the star. Everyone else is just green screened in. No, so I use the green screen for our streams, but okay, so since we had the house fire and I don't have like all my stuff, I'm in like the unfinished part of my mom's house. So I took the green screen and kind of covered up the wall that's behind me because it's not finished yet.
It works.
And I've also got like the electrical junction box. Like if you look to, well, it's my right. Everyone else, well, I guess everyone else is right too. I don't know, over here.
I don't know, the Megadads did a cool thing where
you can kind of see the wires or whatever. So
yeah.
I've kind of just kind of used it to cover up. But I do use a green screen, and we're also screwing around with like some YouTube video stuff that we're using it for too. So
sweet, man. Well, that is awesome. I mean, to me, it seemed like Quest for Pixel just kind of like crept up out of nowhere. I'm so glad to have discovered you guys' stuff. And honestly, it's like no matter what day of the week it seems, you guys are streaming something. Like, you know, ever since Bobby got hit by the hype train and died on impact, there's been a void in streaming every night. There's of course there's the Paddy Wagon, of course. There's Joe After Work, of course. But those guys aren't doing Mario Kart every night. Those guys are doing Splatoon. You guys are keeping it real, man. I'm really loving just my notifications. It seems like you guys are like clockwork, and that's what you need to be doing. I really appreciate that. And people haven't checked it out, guys, go subscribe over there right now. I don't know what you're like. Don't leave here. You can open another tab. You know, if you just hit that little like weird button on Chrome, you can do two things at once. Amazing. I'm just prolonging, by the way, the topics for Todd Oxtrey. He's just like every moment that goes by, he's just like getting angrier and angrier. Todd, we're gonna have you on, by the way, before episode 100. It's gonna happen, and maybe even the Guru will come back from the dead for that. We'll see. I don't know. He doesn't answer my text because he's dead, of course. Quick shout outs for the people in the chat. Dude427 was first as always. David Ray here. Skinny Matt. Shouldn't you be dadding, or is baby asleep? I'm so grateful you're here. Don't get me wrong, but goodness gracious, newborns are, oh God, I'm gonna have like flashbacks from a year ago. Mike is here as well. It's crazy. It's weird. Normally the people on the show are also in the chat, but that's okay. This week we'll skip by that. I don't think I missed anybody. Of course, my good friend, my colleague from Make Us Better, Bad Bit Games, Mr. Bad Bit himself, Joseph Moran from the Trophy Room podcast. Callow is here. Holy crap. Brendan Myers gets a shout out from me. In addition to everybody here, Brendan, I've been thinking about you a lot lately, man. I don't want to get like too personal like in front of everybody because like everybody's listening. But like I've just been thinking about you, dude. I hope that you're doing well. And my other shout out is to Chris Johnston from Player One Podcast. In case you guys did not know, Tony Baker's in the chat. That's amazing. This is crazy. I can't believe he's here with us. Chris Johnston had me on Player One Podcast yesterday. I literally canceled on family dinner plans. I actually set family dinner plans first, and then I canceled them so that I could be on the show. I talked to my parents. I'm like, I think we should just go over there and mooch on some food, and invited myself and Chelsea and my son over, and then I just sent them, and I stayed behind. So thank you to Chris Johnson for having me on Player One Podcast. That went live today, so if you guys should definitely go check it out. We had a question from Grouchie Surge on there. Shout out to Grouchie Surge. We had a lot of questions from people, but they chose one from a good friend out there. So thank you guys for all of your support. That definitely helps this show continue to grow and be noticed, and it helped Chris invite me on that show. Sheldon is, of course, obliging my request to maximize mechanical keyboard on this show as we venture into my second favorite topic and segment of the show, the What You Playin', presented by Flexipose. Now, if you guys don't listen to Flexipose, you're really missing out, because first of all, they have now dedicated a segment on their show to If We Ran Nintendo, so we're doing a bit of a swap, and they do way too much of a sell job on it, because I'm like, this is just presented by Flexipose, and they do like an ad read, and they're going on and on, as I am. I'm talking way too much. Tony, man, tell me, what you playing?
I'm playing Zeo Drifter a lot of that.
Yes! Is that your first time?
Yes, I was so late to the party on this, and it was on sale, so I grabbed it. And man, that game is freaking awesome. It is amazing.
Right?
I was so surprised. Well, I'm not surprised because he's got pedigree of being great, but like.
But because you missed it, and you're like,
this one better.
I agree. To me, it's my. I don't just say that just because. Like, I obviously could pick one of them, I guess, to be my favorite. But that one came up out of nowhere, and it's the type of game that if you give it a shot, it will make you feel smart and like you're a good gamer.
And like Dude 427 says, I suck at it too. Like, I'm so bad at it, but I love it. I love it, and I just like grind away at it, and eventually you get it after a while. But I've been having so much fun playing that game. Like, I probably put more hours into that on my Switch than I did almost Far Cry this week.
No way. Wow. So you must be pretty close to being near the end, anyways. Like, do you get a sense because you can see all the planets or whatever you land on?
Well, here's the thing, because Sheldon and I like to play co-op on the stream, and we just like blow up bears and hillbillies and jump on the roof of the car and shoot out the window at helicopters.
Yeah.
And Sheldon's always like, okay, let's go talk to this guy. And then I get bored. I'm very impatient, so I shoot the guy that we're supposed to talk to in the face a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
And Sheldon, and good old Sheldon just comes by and recovers them, and he just laughs and carries on like a nice Montanan himself. And then I just go back and I shoot like the dog that's there, and then
God, you guys!
I know. Well, I get bored. So I needed something to entertain myself.
The one time it was totally acceptable though, because there was this lady and she's like, "We need to run to this next location," and she's like walking as slow as possible. So Tony's like creeping up behind her and beating her with a shovel, and I have to recover because, well, if you let her die, then you have to restart. And I didn't think about it, so.
Okay.
She was so slow. Like, come on, we have a run button. You must have one too.
Where's your run button? Hit the run button, lady. Okay, I thought I was talking about Zeo Drifter here for a second. Now we're talking about just crimes against humanity and pets. Apparently, everybody's gonna be pissed.
I felt a little bit bad about the dog. I'm gonna say
a little bit
only
bad.
For a second.
Dude, oh, I freaking love it. The funny thing is, Jules has been tweeting out about how much more attention he is getting and how much more sales are coming just from the fact that it's now on the games on sale. And here's a secret, every game developer out there, no games ever go on sale on the Switch. So you put your game on sale and all of a sudden you're getting out of that whole landfill of new games. And yeah, it's a really nice and easy way to stand out. I'm hoping that means like success more than just like units of sales. Hopefully it's still money in Jules' pocket to help fund the next thing and everything. And I think it is. I'm sure it is. So shout out to Jules. I don't know if he still watches. Woo! He probably stopped when Bobby died. So that's totally fair. Tony, you playing anything else, man?
I played some Pilot Wings and some Smash on the Wii U. And I gotta tell you, when I was playing Smash on the Wii U, I went to the eShop because I had to reinstall it, and I got mad, like seriously mad, because I was like, why are there so many awesome Virtual Console games on this system now, and I can't play them on my Switch? And it drove me crazy. Usually I'm the guy who's like, you know what, they're not here, whatever, they'll come when they come, no big deal, we'll get it, it's gonna happen. If it doesn't happen, we got tons of other ways to play these games. But I got so mad. I'm like, TurboGrafx 16 games, tons of them by Konami just came out. There's so many Wii games, like crazy good Wii games. I'm like, come on, just bring it out here. Why can't we play it on our Switch? And then they had that Nivea Shield thing where they updated Super Mario Galaxy without the waggle controls. It was just a button press. And that's like my dream come true, because I hated doing that in Super Mario Galaxy. It drove me crazy.
Yeah, it always reminded me that I didn't want to be doing any physical activity at all, and like it'd be the first time you moved in like 3 days. And, I think I just broke my wrist. This is more than I even just doing that. Look how stupid that looks.
Right?
Just moving my wrist like that.
My wrist is for something. Never mind.
Yeah, when you're opening a new bottle of water. I know what you meant.
Exactly.
I know what you meant.
Hydration is important.
I'm really sad. Joseph, Mr. Badbit himself, has reminded me of the cliff that Bobby didn't see coming. It really just came up out of nowhere. Bobby, man, I will see you in the next life, dude. It's heartbreaking. You got anything else, man?
I don't know. Lots of things.
So many things.
Sheldon, I was playing a lot of things this week.
Nice. Yeah, keep going, man. Let Todd can wait. Trust me.
We're always playing the Mario Karts and the Splatoon, like always, streaming that, having a lot of fun. And what else? There was something else. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was a full week games, because I was going back to work today. Today's my first day back at work after the winter off.
Hashtag pray for Bobby.
tough.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but Dude 427 has a great hashtag. We need to get that going in the Discord, guys. The Discord link, of course, is in the show notes on the YouTube and on the show iTunes and everything else. Remember for thumbs up on the video. Pray for Bobby. Hashtag pray for Bobby. We should start a GoFundMe for Bobby's memory. The money, of course, goes to me because I'm grieving the most, not to Bobby's family or anybody like that. Plus, I will gratefully accept your big American dollars. They translate to Canada very nicely, so thank you guys. Sheldon, Mr. Giggles, what you playing, man? Are those new glasses?
Xbox.
Did you get new glasses? Are those
No,
the same
I've had
glasses?
these. I just don't wear my glasses
very
very
sharp.
often.
You look sharp in glasses. And your Super Nintendo hoodie.
Oh yeah, Super Nintendo, and I got Mario.
We didn't
in here.
plan this, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my
we
god, I
didn't.
didn't even see you. You guys are like at different angles. You guys are totally wearing the same shirt. I got a shirt to show you guys too. I just got to make sure that you can't see my belly. This is what Bobby put up with every single week, guys. Sheldon, what you playing? Did you say a game and I totally interrupted and ignored
No,
you?
I didn't say game.
I got distracted by your
Xbox.
sweaters.
Just in general, Xbox. Tons of it.
Okay, now we just take it over to if we ran Xbox, or a segment we'll be calling on the Xbox Drive. Fill her up. It's if you were Phil Spencer, and there's a gas pun in there.
Nice.
Dad jokes.
He's working at Domo, pumping it for you.
Yes, Domo. Oh, shout out for Domo. Okay, what are we talking about? Are you playing games, or are you just saying the word Xbox?
Just Xbox. No. So
Brand new
a lot of
Xbox for
Far
you.
Cry.
Nice. Yep. Brand new Xbox X.
Sea of Thieves, because I guess I'm one of the weird people that actually enjoys it.
Okay, I'm not gonna hate on people for liking this game.
fun.
I can't wait to jump back in and have a good time with you guys. But put in some time. I had to get a review out. 6 out of 10. Come at me.
6 out of 10. Too much water.
Definitely,
much
actually, perfect amount of water. That's the one
Yeah, the
plus.
water's the
I
best
believe
part.
I can't remember if I kept that in. I'm pretty sure that's an actual pro in my pros and cons list.
Oh,
I
really?
think one of them was a perfect amount of water.
Well, and then I picked up, Mario Kart and Splatoon. And then I picked up a new 2DS XL because it was on sale and I
Yes!
couldn't help myself.
Nice.
So I got the white and orange one. And I was
creamsicle.
doing the system transfer.
Mm-hmm. Oh
And
no!
I got the, what's it called? When they do when they kind of like
little Pikmin?
iTunes you and they throw you when they throw in the like demos, like they just appear in your home screen. They're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Go down this demo. So I downloaded the Detective Pikachu demo because I got the giant ass Nintendo or the Pikachu.
I love it.
And I ended up buying the game.
Did you? Did you like it?
It's really good. It's hilarious, but I think I'm about 5 hours into it, and I've already figured out what's going on. So that kind of ruined it for me. But the dialogue's great. Like
So
hearing
funny.
like Pikachu talking in this like Brooklyn detective voice is great.
So good.
So I was playing that, and I was playing a Jules game too today, a 2E game.
Jules.
I was playing Chicken Wiggle on the
Nice.
3DS. So.
Was that your first time playing that one too?
No, I've had it.
Yeah,
I just
that's so good.
rediscovered my 3DS, so there's a bunch of games I wanted to go back and play on there.
I feel like, in a way, I'm almost actively, and we'll get into this in one of the topics, Todd. Just wait, Todd. Just relax, man. Stop yelling at me. Gosh. I look at my 3DS all the time. I'm like, if I just charge you, I'm right back there. Like, I feel like as soon as I fire that thing back up, then there's almost no looking back. But that's not real either. It's a totally irrational fear that I have for no good reason. But, guy, is that all that you're playing there, Sheldon?
Pretty much, yep.
Nice. Dude.
Mainly Xbox.
I was thinking about, this is the second show in April. So maybe I was throwing it out to the people in the chat and everybody can let me know in the Discord. I was thinking about doing a thing maybe once a month on this show because I feel like, Sheldon, I convinced you to buy an Xbox One X while on your show. And I think that is like the best thing ever. But I think maybe once per month, the guests or maybe people in the chat can convince me to buy one game. And I think that would be fun.
That'd be cool.
Maybe not a full-on game. Like, I don't want to spend like $80 a
I don't want to
month
spend
just
a full
like,
amount of money
I
for
mean,
the game.
something on sale. Maybe we'll pick up something, or like maybe we set like a $15 max or something like that. But I think that would be a lot of fun just to try a game and just
That'd be cool.
for the hell of it and see what the hell happens. That way, you'd have more than just Stardew Valley. to be saying that's what I'm playing, because it's a good toilet game. In case you guys didn't know, you pluck the corn and then you poop out the corn from last night, all at the same time. I think it's time for the Todd Oxtra timeout for topics. We'll have Skinny Matt's whistle in here eventually. Mr. Benedict, why don't we go ahead and start with yours? Guys, both of your topics are so amazing. I'm actually sorry that I wouldn't say wasted, but we spent quite a lot of time at the top of the show. But really amazing topics. Mr. Sheldon, can we start with yours? Please introduce your topic.
All right, so with the Nintendo Switch coming out, that is both a home console and handheld console, and the 3DS being near the end of its life, I want to know what we would do as far as the whole two-pillar, since there isn't a third anymore, but the two-pillar structure Nintendo's always gone by. Do we keep the dedicated handheld alive, or do we scrap it completely and put all the focus on the Switch?
Yeah, man. And so I wanted to, like, I'm trying to be mindful of if topics are sort of like repeating, and I know people are like, haven't you guys talked about 3DS already? But I don't think from this angle. What I like about this, we've talked about before about killing the 3DS and like that's it, and then the Switch sort of lasts and lives on its own. But I think what you're getting at is like, is there a successor to the 3DS? And so that I just wanted to clarify that, just in case anybody gets a little unruly in the chat. We don't want anybody unruly. We got a ton of you guys here. What the heck? This is way too late. Everybody's up way past their bedtime. Thank you guys for being here. Tony, were you, or Sheldon, I'll throw it right back to you, man. Did you have any original thought? Like, are you wanting one? Like, what would you do just from a personal standpoint rather than maybe businessy?
Personally, I would say no.
You would buy it. Get out of here. You're such a liar. I was waiting for...
I would buy it. I don't want to buy it, though. I don't know. My wallet hates me. I'll buy anything that has the Nintendo stamp on it. But personally, I want at least this generation, because we're at that half step where, you know, Nintendo's all about half steps, where it's time, you know, sort of to move forward with the handheld area. But the uniqueness of the Switch, I think that they should take all of their resources, since they're still divided up and you still have people working on 3DS assets and games and stuff. Take all those people, put them all on the Switch, and double the amount of content that they're releasing. And also take some of the titles that have been stuck on the 3DS and, you know, give them the HD graphics and, you know, really work on those, just so we could see what that's going to be. Because if there is the next handheld, it's about time for that. And, you know, the Nintendo handheld's going to move from this where it's at now to an HD system. I mean, because it was a step behind where the Vita was, and the Vita was almost, well, was the Vita 720? I can't remember.
I think it had like some weird resolution. I don't know if it was
4 something. It's like 500 or something like that.
But they were a step right. They were right there, you know, where they were kind of playing around with HD. And I think the next Nintendo handheld would be an HD system. So instead of wasting effort and resources on that, just put everything on the Switch, because it's both. Yeah, and it's a unique time in Nintendo's, you know, industry right now, or in their company right now. I
think that's a key part. And David says the Vita was something around 580-ish. I think you're about right. Just a crazy density of pixels and that OLED screen, which was oh so nice, except for that oh so expensive memory card. Like, I wonder too about, like, you can't really do backwards compatible. I mean, they're not really doing too much on Virtual Console, as Tony was talking about as well. I want to see, like, almost like this thing that I can take around. Yeah, Kalos has a micro Switch. That's kind of what I was thinking. Almost like miniaturize the Switch a little bit, cut that price in half. Maybe it's not as, like, I don't know exactly what you take away from it. Maybe it's half the resolution or something like that. I feel like Nintendo needs a clamshell forever. Like, basically since, like, the GBA Advance. GBA? That was redundant. The GBA Advance. I feel like they will always have a need for, and people will always buy that type of system just because it's like self-protecting, and that seems to have
childproof.
It is totally. I don't know, Tony, what do you think, man?
Well, I was thinking about this a lot, and I thought that micro Switch would probably be the way to go.
Yeah.
But if they did that, like you said, what do they take away from that? And then I thought maybe, you know, the Joy-Cons don't come off. But
that's exactly what I'm thinking.
that takes away the whole concept of the Switch, right? Like you're taking those off, you're sharing it with somebody. So now it's just like a private thing, which I guess could work, but I feel like it's too integrated into what the Switch is that it's meant to it's could they call it a Switch? So then I think about the 3DS. Could they make a 3DS without 3D and still call it a 3DS? Well, yeah, they could. They call it the 2DS and they don't care, right? So I don't know. Like I play my own devil's advocate when I talk about what would happen for a handheld again, because I could see ways to do it, and I could see ways that it wouldn't work. And Nintendo's just crazy enough to do it if they wanted to.
Yeah,
but I feel like you're right. The clamshell thing is even me when I was traveling to Japan. I had my Switch and I had my 3DS, and the 3DS is just so much easier to carry around, even at the XL size, because it just folds up and put it in your pocket and you're good to go.
And they do have a way to, like, they've landed now with the Switch on a architecture that sort of works for everything. It seems like everybody's able to get their games onto Switch, and it would be neat to see Nintendo walk away from the DS just because of how difficult it is. Like, it's very specific to program for it. It'd be interesting to see if they had a way to compromise and walk that line of the 2 screen maybe in the next version of it, but that you don't always have to program for that second screen. And maybe that's how you get some older games. I feel like another handheld could be like this backwards proof system. Like, if Switch has Virtual Console, that's one thing, but it's never going to have the 2 screens. So
maybe we'll get a peripheral. Like, Nintendo loves them, so we'll get like an attachment for the Switch.
You know what you do is just take the Switch up and down, and then you have the Joy-Cons on the side, and then it can divide the line in between.
Do you? And I see that too. Do you feel like, would you be satisfied holding, or would you feel like this is weird but it works? Like, I don't know. It's definitely a compromise for sure.
Well, it's just like when you're playing it on the Wii U, right? Like, you get that one square that's small and then the one square that's big. That was worse, in my opinion, because you could never tell which one was supposed to be the top screen half the time. And then I'm like, which one should I be looking at right now? But at least this one would be defined as top and bottom.
Totally. Do you think, Sheldon, we'll throw it back to you too here, like, basically I think the 3DS now exists, and the 2DS especially. You're not the only one who, by the way, picked up a 2DS XL. Andrew Semicek from We the Nerdy also just picked up one, and he is loving it as well. So anybody who's upset at even the concept of continued two pillars, you don't really have to look that far to find people who are still enjoying it. We will say the words, yes, everything has to be on Switch, but then at the back of our heads going like, kind of like that DS a little bit. So I think there's still a role to play on the Switch is not coming down in price anytime soon. No. But what we're basically getting on the 3DS now is a bunch of ports. So do you want brand new games you've never seen before on a system other than Switch? I think that's really, I've kind of now that we're exploring this a little bit, I'm not convinced that I want another handheld. I think Switch probably is the answer, and maybe versions of Switch so that like you take care of the child proofing and whatnot. I think the modular piece that the Joy-Cons come off, I can't imagine that actually increases a price unless, I don't know why that would. How it maybe might be cheaper to just have it all as one contained unit.
Maybe it'd only be one mold, so they're not making 3 separate pieces. It'd only be one plastic mold or whatever material they use.
Yeah, not an extra set of batteries, I guess, that are recharging.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Another thing I was thinking of is that pat yourself on the back a little bit.
Yep,
there, Sean.
Good one. That's why they like
another one in the books. No, I was thinking like if they were to bring out a new model of the Switch and they were saying like, here's the updated screen, just the screen. It has like all the stuff you need in it. And then they lower the price of the standard Switch completely. And then they say, this is your entry level one. Go for it. It's like $150. This is your, the new hotness.
The new Switch.
And then if you have your Joy-Cons, you can just keep that and then just pop in the new screen. And if not, then you can just buy Joy-Cons separately.
Warren is in the house. Hey, Warren. Guys, if we ran Nintendo and we're all waiting for the Virtual Console, here's the way to do it. Remember when you couldn't get Super Nintendo games in Virtual Console on your 3DS? You needed the new 3DS to get those. New Switch is the only way to get Virtual Console games. It's gonna happen. You guys just will all be like pushing over little kids to get to the store in time.
And I'll buy it.
Exactly. That's the problem. Well, but also it's awesome.
Oh,
God, you're right.
Like we're just like we're building up this hope that we want this virtual console, and like, how badly do you want it? Do you want it like $450 Canadian badly? Plus you have to buy all the games because that's gonna be a thing. I don't know, man. I think I'm against this idea. I think as we have explored this, Sheldon, what do you think? I mean, do you want to keep pushing on this, or I don't know if I want it.
I just want them to go straight Switch. If they want to keep selling the 2DS, that's great because it's a good entry level for, kids. Like my son's now just getting into it, so the 2DS, he has one of the like door wedge ones.
Yeah. What do you think of that thing?
It's not bad. I mean, it's good for him because he can hold it better. It's not.
Oh, really?
Like, he isn't like like since it's a solid piece. Like he's not like when he because he's flipping it around and doing whatever. the screen isn't trying to close on him.
And nunchucks. Somebody gif that.
And it seems like it's pretty indestructible because he's thrown it a couple times and it hasn't broke. So. But anyways, leave that as your entry level, but I think they need to pull their development off of it. If people want to port to it, indies want to port to it, whatever, but put your main developers on the Switch and put your main focus on the Switch.
It's going to be interesting to see how 2018, I think, pans out, just because we're seeing a bit of a lull. There's sort of worry about that. There's still plenty to play just because of third parties and indies and everything. So it'd be interesting because we're not in the same situation we were with the Wii, where we're like, yes, please, all development be focused on one. And I think that's still important, but I think we need to back off on how hardwired we are to that opinion, just because there are games to play. Like we don't need a game every single month from Nintendo anymore. So maybe from that perspective, there can exist another ecosystem within within Nintendo's world.
We'll see, and more or less, I want to see some of the games like what's a good example? Well, I guess Pokemon's a good example. That's not Nintendo, but I want to see that game in HD. I want it to move forward.
Yep. And
like me and Tony and Mike have talked about on our podcast, the Nintendo Switch has brought new life to old games, to people that may not have played them or haven't played them in a long time. So it'd be kind of cool to see some of those things, even like the top-down Zelda, like Link Between Worlds would be cool to see in HD on the Switch.
Ooh,
so more or less, I'd like to see some of those, because some of the teams that develop games on the 3DS, some of the 3DS games have been my favorite games ever. And I'd like to see them developing stuff on the Switch, and maybe it's take these people, move over here, and take these people, move over there. But the interesting thing, though, is they've never called the Switch a dedicated handheld system. They hardly ever refer to it as a handheld system.
Yeah.
And anytime they're asked about the 3DS, they just say that, the handheld is in, good condition and we're moving forward with it. So the way they talk about it seems like, they have plans for a dedicated handheld. So, and they've done it in the past where the Wii did really well and the DS did really well. So it is possible to have two excellent ecosystems running at the same time. It's just that I'd like to see some of the games that I love on the 3DS on the Switch.
You are so right, man. How quickly have we forgotten how closely tied the DS and the Wii were? Like, it wasn't really that long ago, but we have these like weird video game nerd rules built up in our head of what's allowed and what's not allowed, and what's gonna like build success and what isn't, and we quickly forget like what has happened. I want to now. Time is up, guys. I've given you enough time to come up with this, and you have not. The next handheld from Nintendo is not a handheld at all. It's actually a cellular telephone.
Yeah.
I want Nintendo to go after this market. Because I feel like the Switch is defying all logic in that the Vita failed because for 1,000 different reasons, but from Sony's perspective was that mobile gaming really became the focus for so many people. And the fact that Nintendo is venturing in a little bit, they're dipping their toes in with, of course, Mario Run and Fire Emblem and Pocket Camp and everything else. I feel like that is they say that they're trying to convert donors. That's my word coming out. Trying to convert gamers over to their platforms. I actually think it's a little bit more devious than that. I would love to see Nintendo come out with a phone and that's what you just give to your kid, because like everybody gives their kid an iPad or whatever that is. I wonder if they have the cojones and like even the ability to
No.
They
don't even have enough components to make the stuff that we want.
That's a good point.
Could you imagine them trying to launch a phone? Like, I've thought about it before too, because I have a Galaxy Note 8, so does Sheldon, and if you take a look at the size of the screen of the Switch when the Joy-Cons are off, it's about the same size. And I'm like, if there was a phone in here, I would just use this. But I don't think they could do it.
I'd love a Nintendo smartphone.
Right?
They want to sell it. They want to sell us cardboard. They don't want to sell us phones.
Good point. And I will take that opportunity, because I wasn't completely serious about it. I say facetiously, why don't we segue over and not die as the founder of the Segway did off of a cliff? Rest in peace. I think it might have been the same cliff. Bobby and the founder of Segway, I think, rolled off the exact same cliff. Why don't we go on over into Tony's segment? Tony and Todd Oxford can relax. We're halfway through, Mr. Todd.
Woo!
Tony, what is your topic, my friend?
Well, Nintendo has a Trojan horse in the race, and that Trojan horse is made out of what, you ask?
Condoms.
Cardboard.
Oh, cardboard.
Yeah, okay.
Sheepskin.
That's a thing. But basically, I want to know, where is Nintendo going to take Labo from here? Like, where is it going to go? Is it going to be like, Labo is a great idea.
Yeah.
And it completely surprised all of us. Took us all by storm. No one saw this coming at all. And this is classic Nintendo. And Nintendo was the crazy toy maker, and now they're coming back to being the crazy toy maker. And even when they launched the Switch, they're saying it was an amalgamation of their history, and this is just another part of it. Yeah. And it takes complete advantage of the Switch in all its forms. The Joy-Cons, all the sensors that were like, what the hell are these sensors for? What are they gonna do? And the touchscreen. And then they give you something that you can create and that you can feel some kind of ownership to, and then use and play. And I think that is an incredibly powerful message, and it's gonna do really well.
I agree. It's not for me right now. I am excited to have it in my house eventually for Lincoln to probably just eat for the first couple of years, just like shove it in his face, a nice little fishing rod, and just get all slobbery. I am pumped about it, man. This is going to be an absolute moneymaker, and I do think that the way that it's been pitched right now is very open-ended. So that's why I love this topic, because it's like, this is just the beginning. That like you can just use cardboard to play games and have that interaction, and some pretty like detailed, like the piano is stuff that nobody would have been expecting. But yeah, Sheldon, what do you think about this Nintendo Labo overall? And then getting into the topic, what can they do after the first sort of sets come out?
So I'm really excited for like the Labo kit. I think Jason might be able to do some of it with me, but he's kind of destructive, so it scares me a little bit. But I liked, like back in the day, I used to do like model cars and model airplanes and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
Man.
So like the like building the components is really cool to me. Like I'm excited for that, and like all the rubber bands and switches and however all that stuff works. So I'm excited to mess around with it. I think it's a really cool idea. But when it comes to like what else they can do, like I draw a blank, because like I don't know what are they thinking? What are they gonna make with it?
I started to think about like licensing too. Like they can get like maybe not like licensing in the traditional sense, but maybe just featuring their own games in a like Wario this is his land. Like WarioWare, like a Smooth Moves type of game is like. Yes, get a room full of people with their weird cardboard contraptions and just beat the crap out of each other because Wario said so. Like a Wario, almost like Simon Says kind of game. And you can just like, I don't know, pots and pans, but cardboard on your head, and you're just running at each other like full bore into something like that. But when you you mentioned like cars and models and things like that, I think that is like the crafting of like through cardboard and using cardboard. Toys, cars, rockets. Like, did you ever make like those model rockets that actually flew up in the sky?
We had one that so it used like a water balloon,
Yep.
It was a cardboard rocket, and it used a water balloon, and I
Just
remember
launch your Joy-Cons up into space.
we used it once and it just disappeared. I don't know.
You probably put the wrong engine in it. You probably put like 1 or 2 sizes too big and just like it's gone, man. Those are awesome.
But after you were talking about WarioWare, I think the Labo stuff would be really cool if they tied it into the Mario Party series.
Mario Party, yes,
they could do a lot of cool stuff with that. That'd be really cool.
That is I truly believe in my heart of hearts, Bobby, that is the future of Mario Party. That's the next evolution, I think, of Mario Party. That
would be awesome.
I could actually see them doing so we're sort of talking about some games that are off to the side, these ancillary games a little bit. But I really could see, depending on how this thing takes off, could be, I don't know, something like as serious as, like almost like a Triforce Heroes type of, almost like a spin-off, but still within like a major pillar of their franchise IPs. Could be something like that.
Link's
I don't know.
Crossbow Training 2.0.
Obviously, yes. Or I don't even know. It's so stupid. I have like so many stupid ideas, man. Tony, I feel like I was interrupting though. Did you have? Because it's your topic, man.
Yeah, well, I wanted to say like Toy-Con Garage. They've showed a couple of videos about that just recently, and that's where you can really expand it. And it's kind of similar to, I don't know if you're familiar with If This Then That. It's kind of like an app where you set things up to do things. So like
logic-based programming.
If you walk through the door, your lights will come on or stuff like that. And I think that just seeing what people were going to be able to do with that is going to be crazy enough on its own. Because then you're just like, take whatever cardboard you want, make whatever you want, and do it. In one of the videos, they showed them, they made a full band. They had the guitar, they had the piano, they had drums.
Oh,
they had
wow.
one Joy-Con strapped to the feet for the kick.
No way.
Awesome. Yeah.
Rock Band Revival.
Yeah, exactly. So you could see it going into games like that. And it feels like you'd be more attached to these than you would be with the plastic peripherals of the Wii days, because you've made it. And I can barely make something from IKEA, but if I can make one of these...
These might be more sturdy.
Probably. You don't need as many Allen wrenches, I guess. Allen keys, sorry.
Man, I am very excited to see almost like I'm excited to see if Nintendo is going to be able to encourage that creativity. Mario Maker is an example of that. I don't know if it extends beyond in terms of, like, we're going to see, I think, a lot of like the custom amiibo crowd take to this as well and add on to what you already get to it. But I'm curious to see like how Nintendo will actively like encourage that. I don't know, Sheldon.
Do you remember the WarioWare do-it-yourself game on the DS?
Yeah, man.
There was a lot, like, and I think so that one you could like share it, like there was like an online like share kind of feature. And there was a lot of crazy stuff that came from that, and this seems kind of like the 2.0 version of that.
Yep.
With the Toy-Con Garage stuff, but it's cool that it ties into something physical now. It's not just, some little 2D sprite game you're making, like you're actually making something physical move or whatever.
Yeah.
And I like the whole like learning to program kind of stuff. I think it's really cool.
I wonder if there's a tie-in for Amiibo on this. Like, are there stands or things that you can have your Amiibo live within, almost like a Megazord type of structure that you can put them all in? I don't know. I'm almost picturing, like, I don't even remember what movie it was, but everything is automated. Like, breakfast is basically making itself. Somebody's going to remind me what movie that was. And it's like the egg is like being carried up and then, or like around like a merry-go-round or a Ferris wheel or something like that. And then it cracks and then breaks into anyway. I'm picturing something like very elaborate.
They do that in Back to the Future.
I was thinking Back to the Future. I'm like, was it? Yeah, it was totally Doc Brown. It was the first Back to the Future, of course. Thanks, chat, for helping me. You guys aren't that far behind.
I was gonna say they do it in I think it's Ernest Goes to Camp.
Oh, Sing had a scene like that. David Ray is helping me. Thank you, David Ray. Yeah, I'd like to see, because like the piano sort of opens things up a little bit, doesn't it? To like, I think if I was just thinking about how would cardboard be involved, like you start to think of just it sitting in there. Like there's that one. Was it the piano? The Switch just sits on top of it. And that's sort of like as far as my brain would have taken it. And then not realizing how the infrared from the Joy-Cons actually can measure like distance and shapes and things like that. That's something else. So it'd be cool to see if there's a way for different shapes. I think your body, maybe there's a Kinect type of portion here, where your body becomes
Because
the
that
controller.
worked out so well.
But it's like just as like a neat
Do
idea
I
on
need
the
to remind
side.
you of Milo?
Yeah. Aw.
Poor
He's-
Milo.
he's-
Where is he's trapped somewhere?
he's
in,
dead
like,
with Bobby.
Microsoft's like, oh no,
Oh, he died too.
we got a Nintendo guru and a Milo down there.
Tony Baker, thank you. Back to the Future in the chat, of course, reminds me. Yeah, thanks, Tony.
Chat helps you.
Guys, if you're watching this later on, please leave a comment in the YouTube. Let us know what you think about both of these topics. Do you want a 3DS successor? What do you think is going to happen with the Labo? Because I think that is all. Before we go, though, guys, why don't we remind everybody, Sheldon, can you remind everybody where to find you guys on the internet and Quest for Pixels and anything else you want to let people know as we close things out here?
Yeah, so you can find us on Twitter at quest4pixels. You can go to our website, which is quest4pixels.com. And then you can go to Twitch, twitch.tv/quest4pixelsgaming. We're on YouTube too, and that is
YouTube too, Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah.
That's the sequel. Oh my god.
So you go to youtube.com/quest4pixels. Whenever we stream to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So wherever you're at, you can catch the same stream on both places. And we also have the podcast, Quest for Pixels Conversation, every week. We're trying to get back to a single day, but it's just been kind of haywire lately. But we have had an episode out every week, so
Today
but we
was
are
supposed
moving.
to be our day, just saying.
Oh, no way.
Kinda
Really? Did I wreck something? Oh, no.
No. Definitely not.
Oh, I feel so horrible.
That is up every week, and there's usually a live show once a month now, so you can catch that.
Did you mention your Discord? Your Discord is, as the kids lit.
Yes, we have a Discord too. I'm not sure where we'll put a link for that, but
yeah, the Discord doesn't really make it that easy. Just go to discord.co/q37-_47.
But if you go to our
Twitter,
pray for Bobby.
Pray for Bobby. You can find it somewhere. Definitely on the website.
It's somewhere. It's somewhere there.
It's definitely on the website. I know that much.
It's somewhere.
That's probably just as good as actually saying what it is. Like all those things that you just said. Like, I wonder how many people type that in exactly, or they just Google the crap.
Yeah.
Just Google it, everybody. That should just
Google
be everybody's
Yeah, if you
response.
Just Google it.
If you Google Quest for Pixels, all of it will pop up.
Yeah, yeah, because you guys are very consistent. It's not like sometimes it's a number, sometimes it's not. It's always number 4. Josh Stapleton is in the chat. Hello, Eat Babies. As we close things out, Dude427 said, "I enjoy these topics. You guys are great. Thumbs up." Guys, I don't know about you, but I feel very good about this show. Last week we talked about nonsense with those mega dads.
It was great. I loved that episode. That was like one of my favorite ones so far.
I'm totally kidding. Me too, man. It's been, honestly, I truly do feel like every week is better than the last. So far, we've done at least 6 episodes better than Andrew Semicek. Hey, Andrew. Guys, I need your confirmation here and now while we are here in front of everybody. You will be back. I want you back on the show for sure, because these were amazing topics. You guys are true Nintendo fans. And you're hard to come by, as it turns out. Most people say they like Nintendo, but not everybody loves Nintendo. And you guys, that's the only thing missing from your name, is a true. I mean, you play other things, but you're on the Splatoon, you're on Mario Kart, everything, every single night. Quest for Pixels. If you guys like Nintendo, if you're here for Nintendo, please support. If you're not already, support these guys at Quest for Pixels, because killing it, guys. Consistency all the time. I don't even know how you sleep. Doesn't seem like you do. I'm not convinced that you sleep.
Well, having a kid taught me to sleep for just 4 hours. Like, I need 4 hours of solid sleep. Jason had colic for oh yeah, it'll last just a couple weeks and it'll go away. 6 months later, he decided that maybe he'll sleep for a couple hours every night. But
can you clarify for me? Is that a nice way of saying that he was just really poopy?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like, he was crabby every day, no matter what. Nothing made him happy.
A sore butt. Sore little baby butt.
Yeah, so then you learn to not sleep.
Nice. I don't have that in me. I cannot learn that skill. That is definitely not. Lincoln started sleeping a little longer, and I have been so grateful ever since. I cannot go back ever. It is just the worst. Dave Moore is in the house. Dave and I are gonna play Steep right after this. So
Nice.
not gonna play Nintendo, I guess. Follow me on Twitter at Sean Capri, Sean like Connor, Capri like the pants. Follow the show If We Ran Nintendo. Please support patreon.com/Quest for Pixels as what, right? That your
Yeah.
Patreon?
Oh yeah, Patreon.
Yep,
we're on
patreon.com/Quest
Patreon,
for Pixels. You can support this show and Nintendo Nostalgia and Warp Whistle Gaming and Bad Bit Games and Trophy Room, everything that Bad Bit Games does over there. At patreon.com/makeusbetter. $3 and up gets you into the show notes. $10 and up gets you one of those verbal shout outs at the start. I'm making all this stuff and nonsense as I go. Did I forget anything, guys? I don't think so. That is all. Bye, Bobby. I hope you're resting in pieces. Hashtag pray for Bobby.
Pray for Bobby.
This
Pray.
credit's brought to you by Warp Whistle Gaming.
Hey everyone, Mark here, the Canadian Gamer. This is Warp Whistle Daily. And today I want to talk about collectibles, mainly video game collectibles. I picked up one of these. These are mini Nintendo figures. Picked one up for me, picked one up for Colin for his birthday last weekend, and I'm super hooked on these. I want more. I can't wait to collect more. I love collecting video game figures. You can see a little bit of my collection here. I'm not hardcore into like any one series or figure aside from Amiibo, of course, but I want to know, what kind of figures do you like collecting, whether it's video games, comic books, whatever it is. Show me pictures of your collection or just let me know what you collect, and let me know if you find anything fun like this mini Nintendo that I should maybe be looking at. That's it for now. We'll see you tomorrow.